Hello, Mike here. Uh, Continuing with this series, and ending with the main build of set number 31129, the Majestic Tiger. Unlike my previous two builds of the red panda and the koi fish, seen here, I believe the tiger will use all of the pieces, except for the extra couple that Lego includes just on the safe side. So, in addition, I'd like to, while building this, kind of ramble a little bit about my desires for the channel, and I guess playing with Lego and interlocking bricks in general. So, let me go ahead and reposition my little parts bowls for ease of access. Don't want to bump Margaret over there. She's been very helpful in all of my videos. I'm sure you've seen her in the corner. Okay. So, here we go. In this one, it is separated by the bag number, but those are long since gone. Oh yeah, this does tell me it included the teal brick separator, which I have in use off screen, but I've got another one here just in case I'll need to use it, so I don't need to bother Margaret's perch. So, I know I recently re-got into Lego. Not sure, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. It's hard to remember. Quoting a friend, I'm constantly surprised by the passage of time. And I was mainly interested in getting into my nostalgia for the Lego Space series, especially the themed Space series, and in particular, Intron. Hence Margaret over here. I thought I could just build up a collection of that kind of part in those colors and just play with them, not necessarily with any goal in mind. Not to recreate vintage sets, not to design mocks or anything like that. Just to have fun playing with building and fiddling with the pieces and seeing how they go together as just a kind of fidget type thing. I think I might have started rambling about this in my very first posted video about the rabbit, but just laying the groundwork. That was even though that was only like a month ago, I've hopefully gotten a little bit better since then, and I guess my goals will be, I'll be able to enunciate them better as the build progresses and as I ramble on a little bit more. Can I find this little... Ah, here it is. I wonder why this piece. I don't recall using it in either of the other two builds, and it's odd to just have there and as a with the corner cut off rather than just a 2x2 plate. Odd. This does remind me of one thing I was noticing with the rabbit build is that each of the three builds had a little section where you have a little hidden 1x1 tile heart, and I was kind of disappointed that none of these three builds had that. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, just me starting to get into Lego. So I got a couple of off-the-shelf kits, mainly the White Rabbit, one of the, the classic buckets, as well as some off-brand something Max Build More branded bricks. Mainly is just to start up a collection. Not necessarily a collection, but a bulk, I guess you could say, just to get things kicked off. I kind of liken it to, I also play the card game Magic the Gathering, and every so often on eBay you'll see an instant collection of just terrible, cheap cards, what we call draft chaff, of really common cards that aren't worth that much, but they are enough to get you started with the game. And if you build decks with those and play them against each other, it still really helps you learn the game and see a lot of the different facets of the game, while not even attempting to impact the power level that you would get from what I guess you would call good cards. Oh, here I am tangenting. Oh, nope. I need over here. Well, anyway, so I thought I'd start building up an instant collection with a lot of the classic bricks sets, an off-brand, the something Max, whatever. And they were good for just having a pile of interlocking bricks that were compatible, that I could just fiddle with and just like connect one thing to another and another thing on top of that. But soon I wanted to get more focused on the types of pieces that I wanted to get and use. So I do have a local store that's actually just a little bit over a year old in my town, that sells, specializes in collectible minifigs, older sets, but more importantly has a huge table of just loose bricks. And they give you little zip seal bags and tiny little plastic buckets and say, fill this for so much. So that's another place that I got started. Mainly going for Imtron style things. A lot of spacey looking wing plates and little zigzag things. Not unlike this where it goes a Z then up again. I guess they were also used for cars, but I saw them in a lot of the Imtron vehicles. Hoping to just get enough loose parts to see if I could start mocking. I guess that's a word. I'm still relatively new to this. Up some things. Mainly focusing on red and black, as well as a little bit of gray. I wasn't sure if it was since it's all used parts, if it was the older light gray or the new light bluish gray. I really have no opinion on the matter, except I've just heard that the old light gray has either become brittle or discolored. So that's my only reason for not caring that much about it. But I found that while I was getting those, I didn't really get much in the way of moss. I wasn't really that inspired. I thought maybe it was just I didn't have the right pieces. So I discovered Bricklink, and that was fun because they've got all the huge database of all the older sets, all the sets, and I can go out and they're also a marketplace type thing where I can find the exact bricks that were used in every single one of those sets. I can order them individually. And I think I priced out a couple of the smaller Imtron sets, and from there they're actually still kind of expensive, I think. With I think I was looking at the whatever the one with the wheels and the green cover over thing with the Imtron logo on it. Whatever one that one was. Was it the vector detector? Not sure. I don't really have a script or anything to reference. I'm just rambling. No, the vector detector was the helicopter looking one, I think. Yeah, that was the one I was looking at. And that was, I think at the time I was looking, going for about $35 to $40 before taking into account shipping. And I didn't even look at how much shipping would cost. Because it would probably have to be sent from so many different sellers that it would be, you know, $5 here, $5 there, another $5 here. Maybe $1 for a tiny baggie, a tiny envelope. Maybe $30 to $60 if it's coming from outside the U.S. I mean, nothing against countries outside the U.S. It's just that's how the shipping just ends up working. So I've kind of put a hold on collecting the exact old sets for now. I think I've heard of another site where you can put in what parts you actually have and what another list of parts that are needed for a build, and it'll tell you what the difference is. So you can just order the parts you need rather than taking one huge collection, some of which may be duplicates, without having to go through and deduplicate it yourself. So I'll eventually be looking into that and seeing what I can do. Brick something. Well, everything's a brick something. Let's see, and I'm still just talking about my experiences with Lego so far. Still haven't done anything about a channel yet. So I guess maybe we'll just skip ahead to when I created this channel. I just so happened to have a spare table that I rearranged some things and was able to set it up. It's a 6-foot folding table, although the things that I had to displace to get it to actually fit in here, I had to then set on top of it, so I only have about 4 feet of usable space on it, which is enough. I happen to have a angular arm thing that I used as a swivel monitor stand with a VESA mount for attaching to the edge of my desks to leave up room for having a monitor there, so I didn't have to like have a stand and a place on the desk itself. I had a spare one of those that I attached to the side and just laid a phone on top of it. With the camera part just not being blocked. And see, I had a spare desk lamp. And that's how I just first started creating, first started recording things. Unpublished, I also have some videos of just me talking while sorting my bricks. Got that footage somewhere. It was mostly me rambling like this. But I thought, well, I have had fun talking. I don't really get a chance to speak out loud often. I have a job where I don't see anyone. I communicate with my boss via email and maybe see him once a month. If that. I don't really go out much. And even when I do, I don't really have conversations. I'm a kind of a quiet guy. So I figure maybe this would give me some practice talking. Gives me practice talking towards a purpose. And even if the end result is just I'm talking here by myself and nobody listens to me, it still gives me a bit of an incentive to be talking. So I can kind of like practice socializing that way. As you can probably tell, if you've been listening to me for a while, I still get in a lot of pauses, uhs, and ums while I'm searching for what it is I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if that'll ever go away, and it's not really a hard goal. But if it's something that I can just do for fun while I'm doing other things, then that's kind of helpful. Anyway, since then I have upgraded my gear. I've got an actual, not quite a tripod, but a more adjustable armature with a actual camera mount and a ring light, which, even though I'm pretty sure it's still glaring off of this nice glossy paper and off of other things, is still much harsher than the table light little desk lamp that I used to have. I also invested in this surface, which is just a kind of burgundy neoprene. It's kind of doubled over, but it's very soft. It's kind of like the same things as a mouse mat. And it has been nice because if I like drop some pieces onto it, they just kind of like bounce. It's easier to lift them up again, and they don't clatter and clank on as they would on the wooden or fake wooden surface that I had before. I think I'll just pause and gather some of the pieces I need here. So, like I said, I guess long story short, I have put money into this now. It's not a whole lot of money. I think the camera setup cost me $30, and then this material I got on sale for $10, or under $10. So it's improved the quality, I hope, than when I started, and it wasn't that expensive. Okay. Oop, I think I missed a step here. Yes. I got distracted. But anyway, I don't really have any long-term plans for this channel. As I stated in a previous video, I have gotten up to 4 subscribers, and I only need 996 more before I can start monetizing things. Even begin the process, I guess, of requesting to start monetizing things. And I'm not sure if I'll ever reach that. Not sure if I even want to reach that. It would be interesting to get some feedback on if people actually like this enough for me to have more than just my own interests in mind when I'm doing these. I'm not saying I will, but just something I would be interested in finding out. And going back to this model, it's kind of interesting how I'm assembling this middle part, and it uses these reds and pinks, I guess, to simulate internal organs. Oh, actually, now that I mention it, that piece right there, that might be trying to represent the heart. Interesting that they did it that way with that dark brown piece rather than a angle piece and that actual heart piece. Maybe it's just bigger because this is a bigger animal? Don't know. Anyway, so I don't know if I want anything in particular for this channel, if I have any particular goals that I want, because right now I've just been recording myself assembling builds from sets, which is not bad. I guess if I've gotten 4 whole subscribers already, then it must be entertaining someone. Maybe eventually it'd be nice to be able to do my own mocks. I'm not sure if I would actually record myself during the designing process. Who'd want to see that? Hours and hours of just footage. Plus, a lot of what I do is start and stop. When I'm doing other things, it's actually pretty rare for me to focus on one thing at a time for a while. Which is why I've been a terrible MMORPG player, like in World of Warcraft, or recently I've gotten into City of Heroes Homecoming. Because I'll get interested, I'll get a burst of things, and then I will just wander AFK and go eat a sandwich or lie down for a while, or get interested in reading social media posts, what have you. So being able to actually sit down and focus on this is a bit unusual for me. But having a goal in mind with it kind of helps. So, yeah, still not sure what I want to eventually do. Do I even know if I have the creativity that I used to have? when I was a kid and during my main interest in Lego, to just put things together and build mocks. And of course I didn't know they were called mocks back then. I don't even know if the term existed. This was in the 90s, late 80s, early mid 90s. Like I said, I don't know if I have the creativity anymore to do things, or if I'm just going to be putting together and taking apart sets with the instructions. And not that there's anything wrong with that either. There are many valid ways to enjoy Lego and other interlocking brick products. But like I said, eventually, in terms of what I can put on the channel, I am going to eventually run out of the Lego sets that I have, and it would be kind of expensive to start chasing down sets just to get 3 videos out of them, none of which I can monetize. Because the sets that I already have, I got for myself because I thought I would enjoy just using them on my own. They weren't something I'm investing in order to get value out of later in terms of ad revenue or whatever. But I do have quite a few sets. I know when I was, it's not a hard and fast measurement, but you know those large boxes of that reams of copy paper come in? I've got roughly 2 of those worth of Lego and other compatible bricks. And I think that's a good stopping point in terms of things to collect for. I don't feel the need to rush out and buy more sets because I've still got a lot of life left in the ones that I have. It was just recently, it was good to take advantage of holiday sales and kind of like reinvigorate, which is where I got this Tiger from, as well as the space shuttle that I had. Not the Lego space shuttle, I still have that, that I have not done anything with on camera. But I've still got plenty of things as I have to have a lot of videos out of, should I choose to continue doing this. And I guess another thing is how much do I want of content do I want to put into this channel? Do I just use up what I have and say, well, that was a fun experiment and call it a day? I think I'll eventually accumulate more bricks before that happens. But where was I going with that thought? I'm not sure. I'll just get this together and try to see if I can continue. Slipping into old habits there, trying to build off camera, because I've still got like a good foot worth of table space in front of me that's not on camera. Okay, so white, this, that way. So yeah, and I think it's, I just wanted to say that it's okay not knowing what I want. It's okay not having a goal in mind. It's okay to just wander and explore and play, because that's what this is for. So I'm not going to feel pressured to do things. Whatever I end up doing is what I end up doing. Is 3 videos a week a good goal to have? I don't know. I could probably get 3 videos a week. I have recorded 1 video a night for the last 2 nights of the koi fish and the red panda, and now this one. I could probably record multiple videos in one day. Is that good? I don't know. Will I burn out if I keep up to a hectic release schedule? I don't know, maybe. If I keep it as one of the goals that that's what I want to do, then probably. So I have a goal not to have that kind of goal, I guess. I'm just going to do what I feel like doing at any particular time and not have the pressure to do that. It helps that this is still just in the hobby stage. I'm very far away from being able to even start to think about monetizing this, let alone actually pulling any kind of significant money. I don't even know what monetizing starts at. What I get, like, at the pace I'm going now, if I get a lot of subscribers, will I get $5 a month from YouTube? That's not going to be worth it. So this isn't in danger of becoming my job or anything, which is nice. I'm doing this for fun. But, I think I'm going to be in danger of running out of things to say long before I get even the main body of the tiger done. Do you want to hear about other things I'm doing? That's the problem with feedback is I can ask you now, but I'm not going to get an answer for many days if anyone even does listen and respond. And the way that I'm doing this now, hooking this piece into there like that, I found confusing at first, but it is going to make sense eventually. It is going to become the side stripes of the tiger. And it's going to be really naturally tiger stripe looking. see, I guess I could say that, what can I say? So I'm probably need a lot of these parts, so I'll put this bowl closer to me. I don't have to reach all the way across. This is, I guess, what we call dead air, which is normal if you've been listening, watching my other videos. So yeah, I have taken advantage of that local brick store, getting a bunch of parts together. But like I said, I think I'm missing the crucial pieces. Because a lot of those old Imtron sets do have some unique pieces, and I'm not going to find that in the bulk table. I did find a somewhat good collection of transparent neon. Oops, I got too far ahead of myself. Of transparent neon green pieces. Mainly just the studs like this, not the ones with holes in them, but the old round studs. So that's helped. I've gotten some other weird translucent neon green pieces that can evoke some of the feel, I guess, but kind of weird. So like I said, it'll be a little bit before I can actually indulge in my main interest in Imtron. I have also found the program Bricklink Studio. I think you could call it CAD software. And that's been scratching a little bit of my itch of assembling some of the old Imtron sets. Mainly the smaller ones, the tiny little one-person vehicles. It's been fun assembling those in that program. Then doing a couple renders. That's also where I got the logo for this channel. Pretty sure I already covered it already, but I can ramble off again. That I am a furry. I do have an orange rabbit fursona. And I took inspiration from one of the old Lego Polybag Easter Rabbit sets by making it by recoloring that set in both Imtron spacesuit colors as well as orange bits. I made the logo for this channel and rendered that out with found some generic grid pattern lasers background. So I'm still kind of tickled to pieces about that. I wish it could come across better in a very small thumbnail size as to exactly what it is. So I'm not sure it comes across well as a small channel logo. But one thing at a time. Anyway, I've done a couple of Imtron renders in Bricklink Studio. Those have come out fun. I think it's too clunky of a program to use to design mocks. I still think I'm too much of a hands-on person. I'll still need like actual pieces in my hand in order to properly appreciate testing to see if this goes here, how well that goes with that sort of thing. So eventually I am going to try to reproduce some of the old Imtron sets and keep some of the pieces. But in the meantime, I've been having fun assembling this modern stuff. It greatly helps that the way they've shown off how to assemble things in the instructions has improved oh so wonderfully. With the old instructions being quite dense and often having to play the spot the differences game, where I could find maybe 4 or 5 steps later that, oops, I missed a brick, because that was before they came out with these windows of showing what pieces were needed for each step. And here you get to see what I was talking about. Tiger stripes, a fluffy belly. I think that's cool. So now we get to do a mirror of that. It's just so amazing how the way that just these two little ball and socket joints lined up at such an angle with forced angularity to line up almost perfectly with the smoothness of the cheese tiles here. Very good design. Well, let's get started on the next one. So I think I'm in danger of starting to repeat myself if I keep rambling. I guess the main part is I don't know if I have a goal for this channel, and I think it's okay not having a goal. I don't rely on it as part of anything, especially not as an income. I do have 2 jobs for that. They're not very good, well-paying, or rewarding, but at least I have them and they're stable. Oh yeah, the brick store that's local had a sort of sale going on in October. The details of which were I got a certain product, which I did get. I could then have several bags of loose bricks from the bulk table. 1 bag in October, 1 bag in November, 1 bag's worth in December, and another bag's worth in January. I did get November's and December's, but I have yet to go in and collect January's because I I guess part of it is I don't have any goals. I don't know what I want, if I want anything in particular from that. I mean, I could just go in, like the first few times I've gotten bulk there, and just picked pieces that seemed interesting. Unfortunately, the table is at a low enough level that it is, I guess unfortunately for me, but fortunately for kids, it is right at their level to go in and just go through, pick things up, even sort of start to build over the table right then and there. Which, like I said, is good for them, but it is just at the wrong height where if I spend too long at it, it will really, really, really hurt my back. So the last time I went in December to get bricks, I just grabbed a whole bunch of stuff without caring too much what I grabbed, just to fill the bag so I could stand up straight and get out of there. And I'm not keen to repeat that process and just grab a whole bunch of bricks just in a hurry just to say that I did it. It would be good to go in there with a purpose. Saying, I need these pieces, or pieces like this. Which, you know, fair. But I don't have that yet. I'm not sure if I will. We'll see. I know I've got this last Tiger build. I've got the White Rabbit also has alternate build modes of a cockatoo and a seal, which I think, knowing some of my audience, would be interesting for them. Some of my intended audience, anyway. I know I did a poll just after the White Rabbit of what I should build next, and the official Lego versions of the Space Shuttle won that poll, but when I went to prepare for that, and separate out all the pieces that I would need, I found out I was missing some pieces. So I took some time out to order those pieces. They have since come in. So I suppose after this Tiger build, I could start on that and finish a little bit of a promise I made to people who are willing to give me feedback even before I had this channel up and running. But with that other Space Shuttle, I actually got that as a gift on Christmas Eve. And I was excited to just really get in there and start something. So, in case you were wondering, that's why I went right from the White Rabbit build straight to knockoff. And since then, I have no excuse, so I guess after this, I will get to that Lego Creator set. It's a 3-in-1 with more NASA-looking space shuttle as the main build, and then alternate build modes of stand-up astronaut, much larger scale than the minifig, and then a more futuristic spaceship looking thing. Let's see, not mentioned yet. I think I did get a little, what's it called? Another creator piece, or another creator set, 3-in-1 of a dolphin and turtle. And I forget what the other modes were. So that might be fun to build on camera after getting back into the animal theme after the space. Let's see, I did get another space themed set. I was kind of disappointed in for the wrong reasons. I forget what it was called, but it was kind of expensive for the piece count, I thought, but it was all the space they had at the time, so I thought I'd get it and give it a try. So I forget the name of it, but it turned out not to be a set in the traditional sense, but more of a building toy. I mean, they're all building toys, so it's hard to describe. But what it was is it gave the base canonical build of a spaceship. The instructions only available through the Lego app, with voiceover work, animations, and music, and each step after that was opening a new bag of specialty pieces, but no instructions, as you could say, as to what to actually build with them. Just say, hey, your mission now is to avoid the comets that are coming in. Use the pieces that are in bag number 3 to avoid the comets. Then hit next when you're done with that. Which is, great for firing kids' imaginations. Especially from a Lego set that explicitly tells you, hey, there's not a right way to build this. Use your imagination and build however you want. Not only giving kids permission to do that, but also forcing them to do that. It included some ball and socket things like this, that were obviously meant to attach to the inside of the spaceship shuttle thing that they had, and could be used with a little grabby claw to do something, but it never explicitly told you that that's what you're supposed to build. So, like I said, that was probably fun for kids, but for my particular goals, not that great for wanting to build something on camera, because there were no paper instructions. It was all voiceover work and animations on an app, which I'm sure some people can handle, but having a low quality device spitting out speaker noises, and then let's face it, a low quality audio recording microphone on an old phone that I have, that would not sound very good at all. Plus, at that point, there's not much creativity actually show on screen, on camera. Yeah, it could show some of it, but a lot of the fun of that is discovering things in the app itself. So I don't think I could recreate anything from it. So that was kind of a bust. It did give me some interesting pieces. But again, not anything that I think I could use to build stuff on camera. But instead of more space pieces, space is fun. So I guess when I get to doing mocks, those pieces would come in handy then. Okay, ooh, we're going out on a limb here. Yay, the return of this piece. Chekhov's wiggly Z angle brace bracket thingy. I've gone quiet, so I'm not sure what else I can say that could potentially be interesting to anyone still listening. Okay. So I did build this tiger already, and I'm not sure how easily I can undo these parts. Okay. So anyway, I guess that covers channel goals. Don't really have any. I know there's probably a lot of, well, if you want to do this, then you should start doing this right away. But I don't know if I want to do anything. This is fun for me. wonder how much of my productivity with this is tied to the holiday break. I've been able to recharge. It's been kind of quiet at work. I had a good couple of 4-day weekends over the holidays, which really helped because I was in a really busy period ahead of that. I would come home every day feeling exhausted. So if work picks up, I probably wouldn't be in the mood to do 3 videos a week, especially if I run out of material. Speaking of running out of material, run out of things to talk about again, I guess. Maybe I'll finish up this section and take a break. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Probably transparent to you, of course. Not a ways yet, though. So I don't know what, if anything, I should focus on when I go back to the brick store in terms of what kind of bulk that I want to pick up. I know while I was there, I picked up some of the more classic space colored pieces of the light gray, or probably the light bluish gray now. Along with the gray and the blue. That's what I meant. The blue and the gray of the classic space colors. Picked up a bunch of things in that colors, as well as they had some space printed pieces, like a 1x2 brick with the space logo printed on it, and one of the slope pieces with the logo printed. So I picked up some of those. I also got some eye pieces. Some 1x1 yellow bricks with the eye printed on them, as well as the actual rabbit face of the build that I was talking about earlier with the Easter rabbit. It was a slope like this with the rabbit face printed on it, 2 eyes, nose, and whiskers. Because, oh yeah, it's another thing about the render that I did for my logo. It uses that rabbit face, but on an orange brick, which they never actually printed. So even if I wanted to get my channel logo thing in an actual set, I couldn't use orange. I think it's only yellow, possibly white, that they printed that piece in. So I don't know if they make third-party stickers that would stick to a slope piece like that. And if they did, how well it would. Plus there's my disdain for stickers. Give me a good printed piece any day. Especially if you start with printed pieces. But anyway, I got those as a set, I guess you could call them. The two eyes and the rabbit face. And check to make sure we put this in on the red side. Okay, that's another one section done. And I think I will take a break myself. And back from the jump cut. It's actually been a couple days since I recorded the last bit, but I hope to continue on from what I was doing there. Let's see, we got the middle section and the front done, and looks like it's time for the front left leg. I know I was talking before about creativity, I believe, in terms of if I want to pursue making mocks, or if I'm fine with just building sets, and saying stuff about what should I do, and just being open to exploring what I want to do. And I find that I'm struggling a little bit with my place with creativity in general. Ooh, this is a complex step here. Just get some of these pieces out. Move that aside. For example, long time ago, I used to be into creative writing. Thought maybe I could have some fun writing original stories, maybe starting with fanfics, but nothing wrong with that. But it's been years turned into decades since I've actually done anything with that. And again, I think that's okay. Do I want to get back into creative writing? Should I get back into creative writing? It's really not a matter of should I, do I want to? Am I losing anything by not? Am I unhappy in any way if I don't? Those are the real questions. I thought maybe I'd have more to be able to talk about this, but I guess I'm stalling already. But I guess in terms of what that means for Lego is, of course, what do I want to do? Do I want to force myself to get into mocks? Do I want to, not really force, but do some practice stuff? explore, see how I like it. Do I want to, I don't know, well, do I want to practice at it? Because practicing anything involves effort, work, and I don't know if I want to do that. I could. But then again, I could not. Running out of things to say. But, like, I know I am also interested in tabletop role-playing games, like Dungeons and Dragons. But it's been a while since I've, like, tried to make my own campaign setting, my own world, my own story. I have had ideas and I have written them down, but that's a while ago, and maybe the fun of it was just writing it down in the first place. Maybe if I try to go back and revisit it, it won't, and try to stick to what I had written before, would that just hold me back? Or if I want to get back into writing my own campaign setting, should I just start from scratch? I mean, that's fun, right? If the fun of it is in the doing rather than making sure I end up with the same result that I went with last time. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Already got one of these put together. And here. Oop, I almost missed a step. Yeah, that was way back here. If I can grip it properly. I don't know, do you do y'all want to hear about my D&D ideas? Well, not really, D&D per se, but tabletop RPG ramblings. Do y'all care about my other ramblings about other things? I recently got back into an MMORPG called City of Heroes, a superhero MMO. Massively multiplayer online role-playing game. It's where you can make your own superhero with dozens of different power sets and a lot of different options for costumes. I had played it back in 2004, 2003. It was released in April of this same year that World of Warcraft came out. I think World of Warcraft came out in November of that year. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Ooh. 7 or 8 months to that I had fun playing that before World of Warcraft sucked my interest away. And I know I had fun with it, but it kind of got repetitive and boring. But anyway, it is now back, sort of. There had been private servers for it for years, since 2017, and it's 2024 now. And I know there's been community around it. I never really got into community. I'm a bit of an introvert. But anyway, it's got one of the most prolific, most popular private servers actually finally got licensing from the rights holder of City of Heroes, NCSoft, the publisher back in the day. To actually continue on legally with the City of Heroes brand. So one of the downsides of being a private server and operating as such is you never know if the company that owns the rights to the thing you're emulating, so it's kind of like emulating but multiplayer. You never know when, if they will actually start asserting their rights and take you to court, all that sort of thing. Well, not the players, that's a losing game, but the maintainer and runner of the private server. What that means for players, though, was you never knew on one of these private servers if your progress would ever be lost. If you started playing, but then the rights holder finally asserted themselves and took down the server, and then you've lost access to the character that you built, all the fun that you had, all the connections and friends you made, all that sort of thing, if you hadn't made any connections outside of the game. It could tear down a community. So that's one of the things with this recent development. Means that there's now no fear of that, hopefully, as long as the current runners of the City of Heroes Homecoming server maintain their part of the licensing agreement, which I don't think I've seen disclosed. So, anyway, we got a leg and a paw, and I kind of like that it's got simulated paw pads, a little thummy type thing there, and that snaps in here. Okay, now we do the other one. Well, I guess I'm not waiting for feedback. I'm going to talk about City of Heroes some more. You just like looking at me building this, and I suppose you could put this on mute. You put whatever other music you like on top of it. I've actually been thinking about trying to find some royalty-free music to put as a backing track to this. I know there's Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech, I think. I think that's how I say it. That has a lot of royalty-free music in the Creative Commons, so it's fine to use as long as you credit him directly, and I'm fine with doing that, of course. But it's just a matter of finding a track that's long enough that I can either put on in the background without repeating or have it actually on loop and not be annoying being on loop for so long that it takes me to finish a build. I found some of his longest pieces, length of audio files, I mean. Since I'm talking about Lego here, it might be like, ooh, a long piece. Ooh. But they are really calm, more meditative pieces. Then there's the more action-oriented pieces, which I don't know if either one would be a good fit as a background music for what I'm doing here. There's always classical music, if I can find recording that's in the public domain or Creative Commons or otherwise freely licensable. I know this is going up on YouTube, and they have a pretty permissive policy of some pieces. I kind of want to avoid that in case I upload this to a different medium. So I'm actually big into the Fediverse, a decentralized network, mostly built currently on microblogging Twitter-like service called Mastodon, as well as some other similar services. Is that right? Nope. There. I haven't really talked too much about my presence there since it doesn't have a lot to do with Lego, so isn't as relevant to talking about here. Oh, where was I? But yeah, they've got something called PeerTube, which is a video service, not unlike YouTube. And I would like to be able to reserve my ability to upload these videos to a PeerTube server if one should be a good fit and actually not mind hosting content like this. I have done some preliminary research and haven't really found one that looks like it's enthusiastic about this kind of content. In fact, they may see that all this is kind of wasteful and not really want to host. So if I do try to upload without trying to clear that it's okay first, I might get deleted. It's stuff I worry about. Anyway, I might want to upload my stuff to there, in which case I won't have YouTube's license for audio content. So it's something that I would like to avoid being dependent upon. Oh yeah, at the time of me recording this, my current stats are still, I have 4 subscribers. And I don't know if I was looking in the wrong place before or if they changed something. But now I currently only need 496 more subscribers, as well as 4,998 more hours of view time in the next year to be able to make partner and be able to start monetizing. Which I chuckle at because I have no intention of making that, as I think I've discussed. Or if I do, it'll be accidental, or if I actually do start putting more effort into things. On my last, or not my most recent, the build of the koi fish, I tried to make a thumbnail. It looks terrible. So that's why I didn't try making one for the red panda build. I am all over the place in talking about things, aren't I? Oh well. It is something to fill the dead air. So, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, City of Heroes. I missed a step. So I picked back up City of Heroes. I'd played a little bit off and on, or played a lot off and on over the years. But most recently I recreated my original character from 2004, the Graniteer, a stone or a melee character that uses stone-based powers, which is a concept that I had come up with on forum boards long ago, before actually seeing what the power sets did or anything like that. Originally, he was a tanker, which was, not surprisingly, their version of a tank character. A character that mixes it up in up close and personal with the enemy mobs. Try not to use too much slang, but enemy NPCs. I got distracted there. And keeps the enemies focusing their attacks on that character, the tanker. But since then, that was like the original release of the game. They've added a lot more classes, and this time I'm playing them as a brute, which I think has a little bit less defense and a little bit more offense, but still similar concept of mixing things up in melee, potentially holding the enemy's attention. That way, the other characters can blast away at the enemies without taking fire themselves. Although this time around, I have been playing solo, just by myself. Which, you know, nothing wrong with that. As I said, I'm introverted, a bit shy, so I have not gone through and tried to find and join a super group, which is their version of something like a guild. I just started this past Friday morning, and I am recording this on a Monday night. I kind of started over, like I said, as a brute character, and got from level 1 to 21 today, which is not bad. I hesitate to say that it's the highest level I've ever been, but it's since I've started over so many times. But it definitely is a level that if I have achieved it, I have not achieved it often. And like I said, this time around, since it's an official server now, I don't have to worry about character loss. So I might actually put a little bit more, I don't want to say effort into playing it, because I'm doing it for fun. If I say I put effort into doing something, that makes it sound like work. But I'm at least putting more time into it. I'm allowing myself to enjoy it without fear of losing it, I guess I could say. And another paw done. That'll snap on here. And on there. Ta-da! And we're ready for bag number 3. Following this line in the instructions, we're just over halfway done, I guess. So this is going to be a long video. So I guess I could find something else to ramble about. There's not much more to say about City of Heroes except I started playing it. And I'm playing it. That's about it. But anyway, getting back to creativity and Pathfinder, or the D&D-like game that I'm playing, or that I'm currently wishing I could play more of. I said, I don't know if I have the creativity to actually make my own world again, or the interest of other people to play in that world. That's another problem that I would have with doing something like that, is finding other people that are interested in the same thing and be willing to meet together and actually play together at the same time. I currently have a group of 3 other friends that I am scheduled to meet with weekly, which has been pretty fun. We have been getting together and either playing board games or some co-op video games or things like that. And I've been having fun with that, but relatively recently, I talked them into, sounds kind of weird, but we had been kind of in a lull as to what exactly we were doing, because I seem to be the one who is most nervous about wanting to schedule things, whereas a lot of the others are like, yeah, let's just get together and have some fun doing something. Exactly what? I don't know. We'll figure it out then. I have too much anxiety to be able to consistently have fun with that sort of thing. So I had proposed a taking turns doing, putting someone in charge of figuring out what we were going to do, and I think most of the others are have a lot of anxiety about trying to plan for something so far in advance of weeks that I was trying to push on others. So, somewhat recently, I think we had finally come to the conclusion, through me talking it out, that they were okay doing this getting together and role-playing thing with Pathfinder. That we kind of settled on just doing that going forward, unless someone has something else they'd like to do. But it feels weird. Feels like I'm monopolizing people's time. But so far, everybody's been having fun. I've been running the module Abomination Vaults, which takes them from levels 1 to 10-ish in the Pathfinder role-playing game system. Here and there, I've tried to make a few things my own by putting in some touches here and there. I think my friends appreciate it. I'm not sure if they're actually aware of which parts I've done that with and which parts I haven't, and I've left alone. But I think that's okay. Because I had originally thought, going with this whole creative thing is, I don't think I could commit to making my own setting and plots and stories and stuff right off the bat. So I'm using a pre-written adventure that's professionally published with all kinds of cool maps and things. I had forgotten. I have to make the tiger's butthole a little pink star. And that attaches there. I bet I'm going to make the back legs next. Yep. currently in the Pathfinder thing is set in the town of Otari, which is a fishing / lumber town. Not too far not too far from the capital city of Absalom, which I know absolutely nothing about. I don't know this setting. So one of the things is I've had a lot of experience with Dungeons and Dragons and some of the settings in there, but I've joined too many settings for me to really jump into the lore of what a new setting is all about. I'm kind of waiting to see if it's worth it to do anything like that here, as in committing to learning about a setting that would just take up space in my head and I would learn it and then never really have an opportunity to use it if interest grows or interest doesn't grow. If there's lack of interest from the people I play with, it would be difficult to find other people to play with. I've been in too many games where I learn the setting, learn the system, get really invested, and then within a week, within a month, or even the next day, everyone else lost interest, and I've had all this interest that I put into things not wasted, but get anxiety because I was excited about being able to take this information and use it, but then I'm denied that opportunity. So that's why I'm kind of shy about allowing myself to dig real deep into newer things. And I don't know, so far, I think it's been going on for a couple months now. I probably should be safe in actually investing some in the storyline, the setting, and that sort of thing. But I don't know, I've just still got hang-ups, and so far, if I'm running from a module, I don't really need to yet. So, no harm in not doing so. So far. It is a kind of generic system. Or not really, generic, but I don't know, could be called a generic enough world. And it's designed to be so that other people can put their own ideas into the game. It's a nice playground. But other settings that I've been in have been more to me. There was the original implied setting of Greyhawk for Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition, which is what I started in. Which didn't really have all that much information about it ready for the players in the player's handbook, which is where I got most of my information, as well as the extra mechanics books. But then we moved on to Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition, which I'm forgetting if it ever had its own actual setting name, but the implied setting from the player's handbook, I think we called the Points of Light system, or Points of Light setting, with the idea that there's mostly wilderness filled with vicious monsters out there, and each civilization, each city or town that's been able to successfully defend itself is a point of light in an otherwise untamed world. I didn't really get too deep into that. But one thing that came with 3rd edition, well, specifically the 3.5 edition, was a setting called Eberron, which I really enjoyed because it took a lot of the mechanics of what made 3rd edition D&D tick, and it really played with them. It noticed all the cracks that were in the system, and it filled them in. So that was, from a mechanics point of view, that was really cool. When they tried to make the move to 4th edition from it, it lost a lot of its charm, because for me, a lot of its charm was in its mechanics and how it touched on the things from 3rd edition. Oh boy, I really am rambling now, aren't I? Anyway, I got a little bit invested in that setting. I've actually purchased 3 books now on it. Each one slightly different, each one with its own version of the lore of the setting. And I kind of like that I can take what I like from each of them and make my own version of that, should I ever actually want to set something in that world. So you just want to make sure that I didn't miss any steps here. Nope, okay. But then mid 4th edition, I think they tried to move to the Forgotten Realms setting, which had been around for a very long time, I think since Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, maybe even before that, which was a very popular one that I didn't really know anything about, so I kind of skipped over that. But when D&D 5th edition came out, it seemed to actually take the Forgotten Realms setting and make that the main setting of the game itself, the implied setting of that. So it's got a lot of lore, a lot of history, of things I don't really want to take the time to learn. That is actually the setting of the popular video game Baldur's Gate 3 that recently, well, somewhat recently came out as of the recording this video. Paw print there. I don't know, half a year? Man, time flies. It's been out a while. And it was out in early access for a lot longer than that. But Baldur's Gate is a city within the Baldur's Gate 3 game, which is set in the Forgotten Realms. So it's got a lot of Forgotten Realms characters in there. Okay, so attach this to that. And attach this to the back of here. Okay, so we've got a tiger that can move, legs, paws, all of that. So let's build the fourth leg. Pretty similar steps to all the rest. So those are popular settings within D&D and the tabletop world, with Pathfinder having its own world called Golarion, and specifically apparently the Inner Sea setting. But I have paid even less attention to that than I have to Forgotten Realms. Because it always seems like the true test of a games master is to build their own setting. Although it is possible to build within the setting that the game provides, and still lots of room for creativity from within it. Building your own non-player characters for the players to interact with, building your own towns, cities, adventures. So there's still plenty to do, but I feel if I don't really vibe with the world, it's hard for me to actually care a lot about what happens within the world. And the more I have anxiety and fear about what if I try to make some sort of interesting thing within this world, and that actually contradicts some lore somewhere else that I hadn't heard of, which I know I really shouldn't be worried about. But that's one of the things that also made me leery about learning too much and setting stuff within Forgotten Realms. Eberron I had less of a problem with, because it's something that the people that I played the game with weren't as interested in it as I was, and I felt like I had more permission to change and modify things to suit my own tastes, to have my own take on the world. So I felt I had more permission to change things, to have it differ from canon. That it would feel okay to have something that I say happens in my world that is actually different from what someone else says happens in some other book somewhere that I hadn't read yet or had no interest in reading. But I still felt kind of nervous contradicting it in that way, or being open to being contradicted. So that's why the interest in making my own setting. That way, whatever I say happens is what happens there. There's nothing in a book somewhere else that can contradict it. That I actually know everything there is to know about the world. Because I'm the one that put it there. I can make my own notes about who's who and what's where. And if I forget, oh well. Either the players will be so interested in the setting that they will remind me about certain things, or they will forget it too. In which case, oh well. It doesn't matter that it didn't happen. I've had various starts and stops about making my own settings. Each time I think very carefully about whether I want to make something that's generic fantasy enough that it feels very familiar to anyone who's played in one of those worlds. Something that anything within those worlds would have a place. So it's easy to adapt concepts from. Or I could even wholeheartedly steal pre-written adventures and run them within that setting. If it's generic fantasy enough, if it's similar enough to the base Golarion or the base Forgotten Realms or the base Greyhawk. Oh, look at me just skipping steps, or skipping ahead, knowing what these steps are. Or if I go something a little more original, something that I can put my own spin on, something a little more fantastical, something less similar to a generic fantasy world. Bonus there for making my own creativity, but then again, detriment if someone was hoping to use something out of a generic fantasy origin for one of the characters or stories that they wanted to tell. Running low on parts here. Uh-oh, I think I have a missing piece. I will take another pause for the video. Surprise, another jump cut. It's been a couple days since I finished well, put a stop to my last recording session because I was missing a piece. I have since gone through and verified all the pieces that are needed for the rest of the build and done something proactive in that I have assembled all the pieces for each of the sub builds and put them all in their own little paper bowl here. Ooh. So last time I was in the middle of putting together this foot, and I'd also realized that I had skipped a step with putting the back on this leg. So let me go find where I was. Let's see. This was a paw. Yeah, this was the last leg. So I've got leg oriented this way. Already done this sub build and put that on there. All right. So now I can skip up to the paw here and place that one piece that I missed. Okay, I believe I was talking about something about putting together a Pathfinder setting or tabletop RPG setting. I don't actually go back and look at my own recording, so I have forgotten what I was doing. But, yeah. I had been thinking of a couple ideas for a custom campaign setting for a tabletop RPG. Several ideas, depending on the how close I want it to generic medieval fantasy versus how out there and original it is. Because, done with that bowl. I believe I had talked about the Eberron campaign setting before, and I liked it because it took all of the basics of generic fantasy and kind of like remixed them. Put this over here and that over there. Tiger leg. Come on. Snap this into there. There. Still got the tiger butthole. Okay. I'm going to set this off camera for now. It's like one of the things I liked about Eberron is it took what was present in most generic medieval fantasy type settings and made something new with it. Put a little new spin on it. Like there are dwarves, but rather than they all being under the mountain and stuff like that, the dwarves that are here are actually the outcasts from way down below, from some forgotten war or something like that. Then come to find out that when they tried to rejoin their homeland after so many years that their homeland had pretty much disappeared. So they're the last surviving dwarves in the world. And they're elves, but rather than being like tree-dwelling hippies, they're xenophobic raiders who go into other lands and pillage and stuff like that. Or they've got their own island where they have like positive energy zombies that are less, bringing something back from the dead to control it and stuff, and more ancestor worship. Where if you were an elf that was really prized for being wise and stuff, they might keep you around even after you die. They're halflings, but instead of just being like cottagecore farmers and homebodies and things, they are dinosaur riding nomads, and so on and so forth. They've got a lot of different takes on different things. I think for me, notably, the Drow, the Dark Elves of D&D, are less about the woe is me matriarchy and stuff like that, and spider worshippers, and they're more actually scorpion worshippers or something like that. I don't really know, but instead of Driders being half elf, half spiders, they've got half elf, half scorpions. So that's one example of something that's kind of out there, but also still hewing close to the basics of fantasy and stuff like that. So this is going to be a little bit, see here, when I'm building this, complicated as I collect all the pieces. The more I build, the fewer pieces there will be in the bowl, so the easier it'll be to find those particular pieces I'm looking for. Okay. Starting to lose things to talk about again. So yeah, my own campaign setting, I'd have to think long and hard about, like I said, how different I want it to be. So I could just go with more generic fantasy. Nothing really wrong with that. Means I can reuse a lot of the things that are in the base assumption of the core rulebook. Or there's the thing of, just remixing who does what and things like that. Okay. Like one of my ideas is to have like two main clans of dwarves that are separated on two different sides of the continent. And they're kind of estranged. They don't talk to each other due to some ancient grudge that has long since been forgotten. With the ones on one side of the world actually doing more traditional dwarfy things by being at war with orcs. But with the twist of, and I have to be really careful how I would do this. More like, let's see, how to put it. Trying to liberate and uplift the orcs out of their savagery by taking over their homelands. And putting themselves in charge, in stewardship, because such creatures could not be counted on to wisely rule themselves. So it takes civilization, some civilizing from the point of view of the dwarves, to bring them back to be productive members of a healthy society. Which is all kinds of talk for bad things. I don't really intend to be like a one-to-one comparison for any particular colonizing group persecuting a particular other persecuted group. But the comparison could be there. So that was one idea. Also had an idea for a unique physical structure of a road that sweeps across the continent from one coast to almost the other coast. That was built by peoples long ago, long forgotten, of an unknown substance that is super strong and has needed no maintenance for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. So that makes an easy way of transport for things along the road, but leaves a lot of room for wilderness and things off the road. Flip this over. And I ran out of things to talk about again. Oh, gee. Am I going to be able to get through to the end of this build while still being able to talk? Or am I going to go mute and just go, oh, I put this here and I put this there, like I did in my previous videos? Who knows? This should be the last of the tiger build itself, and then I've got the rock and the bird perch left to go. Let's see, how does that work? Like that. See, I think I had the idea of the one coast where the road connects to is actually a cliffside, and built in the edge of the cliffside are some bird people. That's interesting-ish. I thought it sounded interesting when I did it. I'm not really providing a lot of details because I've forgotten them. See, having some crystalline city in the middle of the desert where sort of robots are from. That could be another thing. Yeah, it's been a long time and I have forgotten exactly what I was going to do with that setting. But yeah, it was one idea. Another idea was possibly Norse-ish inspired, where the winter came and hasn't let up in several years, so the whole land is freezing. But there are some magical warm stones or something in which a temperate climate exists within so many 100 feet or 1,000 feet of these particular stones. And the player characters get a small mobile one of these in order to go to try to look through the wilderness to try to find food and other things. It can help push back the darkness. That was a little bit of an idea. It kind of limits what I can do as far as other civilizations, I guess you could call it. Is there maybe like one portable stone that's entrusted to a trade caravan that visits the next town over and finds out what they've been up to and trades that town surplus for this town surplus and that sort of thing. And one adventurers have, and then possibly the some contention if some rival group thinks that they deserve the traveling stone or something. Some ideas for adventures and that kind of thing. I think I got the eyebrows right. Right? And of course there's other generic fantasy hooks of, there's an ancient ruin that was rumored to have a mighty treasure in it, something or other. And generic plot hooks. Still got quite a few pieces left on this head. I'm not sure how much more banter I can keep up. Okay, ears. So I guess this could be another call to comment. Do you play a tabletop role-playing game like D&D, Pathfinder, or anything like that? Let me know in the comments. Do you run one? Do you play in one? Do you meet in person? Or do you play in a virtual tabletop over the internet? So I know myself, I have tried doing internet groups, but something to do with my anxiety or introversion really prevents me from enjoying it. I just get so wound up when I'm waiting for my turn to talk. Oops, I did that backwards. There. It triggers my I'm sorry, this is a little bit too much information, but tiny bladders. I'm on some diabetic medication that makes me use the restroom a lot, and especially covered when that's combined with when I'm stressed. I like to drink a lot of water, so that provides fuel for that. So during online tabletop sessions, I'm constantly fidgeting around, trying not to miss anything, but then having to go to the bathroom. Did I miss something here? Is there something supposed to be there? Don't think so. Oh yeah, I think I was supposed to put down more fluff things there. Yeah, okay. Me distracting myself. Okay, this for the right cheek. So it connects there. Yeah, there. Okay. I do a mirror. But yeah, it's all and also another thing that I admit is purely me, but I have trouble distinguishing accents that are different from my own. So I know a lot of the online tabletop role-playing is pretty geographically diverse. So you get a lot of Europeans, Australians, and other people from around the world. And it's difficult for me to understand them. So I also grew up in the southern United States, and I learned mostly how to speak, how to listen from there, where people talk kind of slow, which I appreciate. But when I moved up to the northern U.S., it was very difficult because I couldn't understand people because they talked way too fast. And it still takes a lot of mental processing to figure out what people are saying. So that's even just ordinary people around me. I sure must have missed some things. Oh yeah. So people in other countries, oh, it is very difficult for me to understand and parse what they're saying. And like I said, that's a me problem, not they're probably talking absolutely normally for themselves, and for anyone else who doesn't have a problem with international speech, even within English. So that's been a problem for me trying to join online groups where I have a very hard time understanding what people say. Plus, I guess this was in the before times, before a lot of people had experience with online talking stuff like Zoom. So it was hard to actually get a word in edgewise because I would start talking and then someone else would just start talking over me, which is a problem I have in real life as well. So I would stop talking to wait for them to finish, and then once it looked like they were finished, I would try to start talking again, but then someone else would interrupt me. So that's another problem that I have in real life as well, but there it's a lot easier to just raise my hand or like gesture to someone that, hey, I know other people have been talking for half an hour straight. I would like to please get a word in edgewise. And anyway, there is the tiger. Roar. I like how it's nice and lithe body. Oops. The tail's adjustable. It can swish back and forth. Swish, swish. And the paws even have like little simulated paw pads for the little toesies. Really nice tiger build. But that's not the end of the instructions. Still got this rock thingy. So I prefer to play in person just because it's easier to make myself to assert myself that I actually exist, and I would like someone to stop ignoring me. Not that I want to hog the spotlight or anything, just I don't know. But like I said, I'm currently running a game of Pathfinder, mostly weekly. It depends on well, lately it's been depending on the weather. The holidays and stuff always throws a wrench into works. We had a pretty big snowstorm here recently, as the time of recording this video. So I think it's been 2 weeks? No. Yeah, 2 weeks since we last went out for that. I'm hoping the weather cooperates this weekend so we can meet up again. I have just been invited to a Dungeons and Dragons game every other Saturday. We've had one session already, and I'm eager to get in with the second session. I am very happy to be able to engage in my hobbies that bring me joy somewhat recently. Not only tabletop gaming, but also building Lego. It's a nice calming experience, plus it's something that I can do on my own, that I don't have to wait for other people. I don't have to schedule things with other people, which I like doing, but other people seem to have their own schedules or aren't quite as happy to schedule things, I guess, as I am. I think I talked about this a little bit in a previous recording session. So this is something that I can do on my own, and I've been enjoying it. Oh, I think I just got that. That's a little spring out of the cracks of the rock that go down a little waterfall thing. That's nifty. I didn't realize that the first time I tried building this. So there's one flower. Let's see, and like I said, I've also recently got back into video games in the form of a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, City of Heroes. So that's been kind of fun. Almost done. Clip this into that. Okay, now I need to make a stock. Slide these down over the top. I really like that they've got this rod in the middle here to help stabilize this rather than just stacking them up and letting them be in a precarious situation where it's easy to just pop them off at any section. This gives a little bit of rigidity. Okay, that plant in there. Now we're making another thing here. So yeah, even though I've got a main job that doesn't pay too well, it's at least relatively easy work and has been pretty steady. Turn this that way. I've got a second job that's also relatively easy. I'm not making a lot of money. But it's been something that has paid the bills enough to keep a roof over my head and groceries in the cupboard. Okay, so this I build this way. Yep. Yeah. That. Oh no, I'll do that upside down. It's supposed to be that way. Here. Yep, I have run out of banter and prattle. So it's just going to be Lego build noises from here on out, I guess. So I guess, how's the banter and prattle worked out for you, the viewer? Has this been a little bit more entertaining than me just going, oh, this here, this there? If you liked hearing about my tabletop gaming or any other subjects that would be fun to cover. So I know I've got, I mentioned previously that I have a coupon for another bag of bulk Lego pieces from a local store. I have the rest of the month to take advantage of that, but I still don't know what kinds of pieces I should get, what I should try to target. So it's going to be difficult to pick out exactly certain pieces, so I'll be at the mercy of whatever's there. Need to see how this goes. Come on. There we go. Sorry, I just couldn't. Needed some guidance how that connected in like that. This like that. Now put this in there. Could be a horn or tooth for the tiger, is a beak for this parrot-like bird that roosts on this thingy. And ta-da! I've got the tiger and a tropical rock spring flower bird thing. Well, that certainly was a very long session. This is one of my largest sets that I have, so I don't know if I'll be recreating this length of a video anytime soon. I've got a lot of smaller builds that should be easier to record as well. If you have made it this far, I know it can't have been easy. I don't even know how long it's been. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this, any of the things I've talked about, or have any feedback, let me know. Like I said, I've been doing this mostly for myself, so I don't know if I'll actually incorporate anything that would need a lot of extra effort. Oh, and these are all the leftover pieces that were with the set that I have not incorporated. Anyway, that is the end of the Majestic Tiger build. Hope you had as much fun listening to me, or even a tenth as much fun listening to me as I did building this. So anyway, bye-bye for now.